So a profitable business is a business that can cover the expenses. It can pay you as like the person doing the work
Mhm.
and then has extra left over.
Okay, so like its own money. The business has its own money. And that's
Business has its own money. And then
okay.
you can, as a business owner, either reinvest those profits into the business. Maybe you reinvest in a new website or new branding or a new certification. Like that's one thing people can do with their profits. Or maybe you're like, this is the year I get my profit bonus. And you give yourself, the business owner, a profit bonus.
Is there a rule of thumb? And I know it's probably different in every industry and for every individual, but is there a rule of thumb for what percentage of your business should be, you know, kept set aside for taxes, what for expenses, what for profit, and what for salary?
Yeah. So one resource that has been life-changing for me and that I've been using since 2017 and prior, I had a hard time separating my personal and business finances and I was always like stressed, like I'd save for taxes, but I was always like, is it going to be enough? And like tax season was so stressful. But then in 2017, I found and implemented the book called Profit First. And I cannot tell like enough people about Profit First. So it's a cash management system for businesses that um, creates the scaffolding and structure so that you always have, so that you're setting up your business to be profitable from the get-go. And the way that that's achieved is through organizing the finances by different percentages. And you'll learn very quickly if your business isn't profitable or isn't healthy or isn't going to be able to sustain itself. So I like that it has that like quick feedback. Um,
Mhm.
so the premise is you're going to pay yourself a percentage as owner's compensation for like owning the business and like doing the work in the business. You're also going to save a percentage to run the business. So that's operating expenses. You're going to save a percentage for taxes, and then you're going to save a percentage for profitability. In the book, these percentages are 50% owner's comp, 30 for operating expense, 15 for tax, and 5 for profit, but they can be changed. I definitely tailor them depending on like the industry and
Mhm.
how many business expenses a business has. So if you have like a retail store and you're buying product and you have rent, you're going to have a lot more expenses than if you are a copywriter and you work over Zoom and on the laptop and you don't really have that much overhead. So for
Mhm.
doulas typically, and well, midwives might have a bit more overhead, but doulas typically don't have like a ton of overhead unless they have like a private office or something like that. So we can tailor the percentages. Um, but I like that it gives some structure and it gives repeatability and it gives like an anchor and focal point to something that can feel overwhelming and confusing, especially when there's a situation of like large fluctuations in income, right?
Yeah.
Like it, as a doula, like you're not, it's just not very feasible to like be earning like a consistent income every month, month over month. There's going to be months where you're getting more contracts. There's going to be months that you're off call and you don't have the balances coming in. And so creating a system that is able to weather those ebbs and flows and you can save money in like the more abundant months that you'll be able to live off in the more lean months is going to really help set you up for success long term and also just to help like reduce that stress.